France, candied chestnut is as popular as the Eiffel Tower, almost. En France, le marron glacé est aussi populaire que la Tour Eiffel. And you can be certain that during the holidays, every single patisserie has something made out of chestnuts. First in the agenda, let's take care of the pear insert. And I'm going to use Bartlett Poire Williams, my favorite. Peel, core, and chop. So the big chunks will be used to make a puree and the small chunks will be sauteed and added later. Mix pears with half of the sugar and lemon juice. Then heat up the puree with vanilla and add remaining sugar combined with the pectin. Bring to a boil and cook for about 2 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to saute the remaining pears in a dash of oil and sugar until golden brown and flambe with dark rum, whiskey, or skip it if you don't like alcohol. Then add flambéed pears to the puree, cook for 3 more minutes, remove from the heat, add the gelatin, done. So in this Christmas log recipe, I'm going to show you how to build this cake using 2 different types of silicone mold. So I'm going to use the first one to make my pear insert, just like so. And for the other example, I am going to use a PVC tube lined with a couple of acetate cake collars attached to each other with packaging tape. Fill that up, seal and freeze overnight. Now, in order to remove the pear insert cylinder from the PVC, warm it up quickly using your hair dryer and push it out. Remove acetate envelope and readjust the length of the pear insert according to the size of the mold, and do likewise with the other one. And keep frozen until ready to use. Next, I'm going to make a delicious chestnut sponge. Beat the room temperature chestnut cream or spread with the softened butter and rum until fluffy. Then add the eggs and the sifted powders, flour and baking powder. Mix until homogenized and spread the chestnut sponge mixture over the prepared sheet tray and top with pieces of candied chestnut marron glacé and bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 180 Celsius for about 20 minutes. Let cool and cut into desired shape, and that's gonna be according to the size of the U-log mold you're gonna use. To follow, I'm gonna make the chestnut crust. Since I don't have any chestnut flour for this recipe, I'm going to use roasted chestnut instead. And I'm gonna pass them through my food mill. And I'm gonna mix it with a pinch of fleur de sel, sugar, softened butter, starch, and the egg yolk. So if you want to use the classic sugar dough instead, feel free to do it. Alright, so next I'm going to spread the pastry between 2 parchment papers or a baking mat underneath and parchment on top. Spread the pastry evenly into a 3 mm thick sheet and freeze. Then cut the pastry sheet into desired shape. So we've got pretty much everything in order. What's missing? Chestnut mousse, and that's the one we're gonna make right now. So I'm gonna whip the heavy cream in a cold mixing bowl along with the vanilla to soft peaks. So that's what you want. Supple. Transfer whipped cream to a large pastry bowl. Alright, so now I'm going to save the mixing bowl. You don't need to clean it. I'm gonna put this aside here, and now I'm going to add the chestnut cream. Oops, come here, baby. Come on. Chestnuts are still alive. Could you believe that? Chestnut cream, chestnut spread. That's something you can easily find online. And of course, if you go to France, this is one of the ingredients you want to bring back here. By the time the room temperature chestnut cream is running, and that's important to have it at room temperature, I'm gonna drain the gelatin I soaked in cold water earlier, microwave it for 10 seconds to melt, and add hot rum in there. Mix that up and add it to the chestnut cream. Add 1/3 of the whipped cream to the chestnut cream and whisk swiftly. Then add the chestnut mixture to the remaining whipped cream and do likewise. Now you've got this beautiful chestnut mousse. Next step, the montage. As I said earlier, I am going to use two different silicone molds. That one is the classic kind. I'm going to fill it half of the way and coat the sides of the mold with the mousse. And then I'm going to place the frozen pear insert straight in. Press down gently, add some mousse and the chestnut sponge. And do likewise with the crust. Well, it looks like it's a little bit taller than expected, but that's not a big deal. There is a quick fix for that. Just put makeup all around it and freeze overnight. And once the log is going to be glazed, you won't see anything. Now we're gonna use this fancy mold, branded Silicomart Elegance, which has been designed to look like the real wooden log. Same recipe, different end result. As you can see here, I'm following the same protocol as I did with the other mold. Chestnut mousse half of the way, frozen pear insert, more mousse, chestnut sponge, and the crust. Guess what? With the leftover chestnut mousse and some of my chocolate truffles I saved, I'm going to create mushrooms, and that's gonna go on top of one of my U-log. Watch. To mimic the mushroom caps, I'm gonna use a small half-sphere silicone mold, then freeze, and I'm gonna glaze the caps with a mixture called enrobage, a 1-to-1 ratio of cocoa butter and chocolate. Keep them frozen, and when ready to assemble, add the stems. That could be chocolate truffles or marzipan. How adorable those sweet porcini mushrooms are, and yet so good. Oh, oh, oh. Next and last thing in the agenda, we're gonna take care of the white glaze. Cook together water, sugar, and corn syrup to 217 degrees Fahrenheit, 103 Celsius. Then remove from the heat, add condensed milk, soften gelatin, and pour the mixture in white chocolate. Mix, sieve, and refrigerate one night before using. Unmold the frozen cake and leave it in the freezer until ready to glaze. Rewarm glaze to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 38 Celsius, and glaze it. I hope, guys, you have enjoyed this pear chestnut Christmas log episode. To get the full recipe, go to my website, brunoalbouze.com, and don't forget to subscribe to my cooking channel and website, and sign up to my online community and culinary academy. Have fun cooking. See you soon. That's what Christmas should look like and taste like.